Welcome. Welcome to Salisbury Yoga and Wellness Center. As you can see, there's a little sunshine today. The skies are blue. It's a gorgeous day outside. It's a gorgeous spring day. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to make sure that the volume is turned up so you can hear me well enough. And we're going to do a multi-level yoga class this morning. So the most important thing for you to remember is to really be with your body. It's your job to check in with your body, to do what your body wants to do today. Nobody can see you. I can't see you. I can't come and say, you're not doing enough or you're doing way too much. Do what your body wants to right now. So I invite you to take several deeper breaths, taking in a deeper inhale. And sigh out your exhale. And do that several more times. I like to just remove the flesh from the sits bones, get really comfortable. You can sit, if sitting cross-legged really doesn't work for you, feel free to spread your legs out wide and try to sit as tall as you can. We're not going to stay in this position for too long because I know it's not all that comfortable for many people. If you like, close your eyes and just begin to let yourself arrive. During these busy, unprecedented times, we find ourselves way too much in our heads. So imagine now that your body is a sand timer that's just been turned upside down. So all the sand is now at the top in the head. Take a deep inhale into your head. And as you exhale, let all that sand drain down to the belly. Take a deep inhale into the belly, full deep breath. And as you exhale, let all that sand drain down into the ground. Pause for a moment. Notice your breath. And throughout this practice, I'm going to remind you to come back into your body again and again and again. Be with your body, be with your breath on your mat. And most importantly, listen to your body. Listen to what your body wants to do right now. Imagine grounding down through the sits bones. Imagine your spine rising up from the root of the sits bones. Maybe bring the arms to the sides. And just take a moment to feel the earth under your fingers. And stay with your breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales, and begin to gently just sway side to side. Like there's a wind picking up a little bit and you're just swaying side to side. You can stay just gently swaying side to side or make the movements a little deeper if you like. Feel how the sits bones, your bottom, is grounding down into the earth. And if you like, let the opposite arm float up and then reach across and come back to center. And as you come over to the other side, let the opposite arm again float up and across. And you can come side to side if you like, letting arms just cartwheel side to side. Keep the shoulders as even with each other as you can. One will rise and one will fall. But try not to bring one forward. You can continue this, or again, just keep the arms down and just sway side to side. And then let's come into a little bigger movement, bringing the hands to the thighs, or if your legs are spread out, bring the thighs to bring the hands somewhere where you can, it feels appropriate, and start to circle your torso. So this time you're leading with the chest, with the sternum at the center of the chest, and you're following your breath. And you might reverse the circles, moving counterclockwise. So stay here as long as this feels good for you. Whenever you feel ready, make your way down onto the back. So I have a blanket under my bottom that I'm just going to slide away, and I'm just going to lie down. And when I'm on my back, I'm going to keep my knees bent. I might let the knees rest against each other. So the feet are wider, but the knees are resting against each other. Maybe my hand resting on the belly. And now I'm going to just arrive on my mat. Again, take some deeper breaths just to feel your body settling on the floor. If you like, gently just turn your head side to soften your neck. And add some bigger movements, letting the knees come apart. The feet are still really wide. Bring the arms out to the sides. And again, take a moment to arrive. Ground yourself. Feel the ground under your body. Feel your body sinking onto the floor like you're saying, Earth, please support me now. Please hold me up. Taking a deep inhale, and as you exhale, let the knees drift over to the right. Your head might turn to the left. And then inhale, knees and head back to center. Exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. Make sure the right shoulder stays down on the ground. And as the knees are going to the right, make sure the left shoulder stays down. So your arms and your shoulders and your upper body stays grounded. And just the lower body is kind of twisting side to side. You can allow some sighs. So this might feel really good for you, and you might just stay here for a little while longer. If you feel like you want to do a little bit more, then bring your knees into your chest. Hug the knees in. You might even pick up your head and bring your forehead towards your knees, and then release your head back down. Breathe. And then bring the arms wide again, palms facing down. Ground the backs of the shoulders. On the next exhale, let your knees drift over to the right. Again, the left shoulder stays on the ground. The head can look to the left if it wants to. And then inhale, knees and head back to center. Exhale, knees over to the left. Again, the right shoulder stays grounded. The head can turn to the right. And you can come side to side. Keep, again, your upper body, your arms, or the backs of your shoulders stay grounded. And if this is getting too much for your body, again, adjust and bring the feet back down and just let your knees windshield wiper side to side. This is your practice. Do what your body wants to do. And whenever you've had enough of whatever you're doing, roll all the way onto the right side. The left arm comes across. Bring your left hand in front of the face and then push into the left hand, come up off the mat into table position on hands and knees. I'm going to turn around because I'm accustomed to facing this way for no other reason than that. So coming into tabletop. Now you're on hands and knees. Your fingers are fanned out and you're holding the mat with all 10 fingers. Again, let yourself arrive. Feel the earth, or imagine you can feel the earth under you. And as you inhale, the tailbone comes up, the belly drops low, the heart comes forward, the chin comes up. You can even pull the heels of the hands towards the knees to stretch the front body a little bit more. And then on your exhale, let the tailbone tuck under, the spine roll up towards the sky, eventually the neck and the head tuck under. You can push the hands into the mat, so you're pushing the heels of the hands towards the front of the mat. Now hugging the navel in towards the spine. And then come back and forth on your breath. You can always stay longer in one of the two positions. Sometimes I like to, as I inhale into dog or cow pose, tuck the toes to stretch the soles of the feet, and then untuck the toes in cat tilt. And again, make this movement fit whatever your body wants to do right now. And anytime you notice you're coming back into the mind, come back to the breath, come back to your body. Inhale into table, and then tuck all 10 toes. You're still holding the mat with all 10 fingers. Lift the knees and the hips, come up into downward facing dog. And you might just kind of play with your dog shape. Imagine your dog having just gotten up and just kind of going, stretching. And then walking feet towards hands, or the hands towards the feet, coming into forward fold. Soften the knees. And then take the image of a wet towel draped over a chair. Soften your knees even more. Let your head and your arms hang, and imagine that towel draped over a chair. The towel just hangs. Got this image from Yoganand at Kripalu, a wet towel draped over a chair. And slowly peel up to standing, come all the way up, and then shake it out. And remember, during this period when we're confined, you don't have to stay still. So you can walk around your house or your office or wherever you are and just really shake it out whenever you remember. Sometimes I even like to be really silly, as you all know, and go, oh. This is where I'm missing my friend Sharon. She's the queen of, just letting it all go. Remember, you're there by yourself. Your kids or your pets might come and see what's happening, but it's okay. They can join you in being silly. And then take one arm and shake it all around. Again, your body loves to move, and we forget. We forget that we have that capacity anytime we like to just move. We don't have to have a reason. And then shake out the other arm. Imagine you don't have a towel and you've just done one of your many hand washings. You want to let the water drip off your fingers. And then continue shaking both arms. Maybe shake one leg as much as you can. They would balance a little bit. And then shake out the other leg. Just let everything that you don't need just kind of drip off you. And then shake out your whole body again. And if you like, again, you can, And let those movements slowly come to stillness. And we're going to continue moving the body. I'm going to guide you through rotation of joints. So step the right foot back a little bit. And then start to circle over the right toes. Stretching the toes. It'll probably feel awkward. And that's okay. We're stretching the connective tissue at the bottom of the foot. We're stretching the toes. We're rotating the whole right leg in the hip socket. And you can also see I'm not guarding against the movement. I'm allowing my body to keep moving. Reverse the circles. Anytime you like. Release those letting go breaths. My Reiki teacher once told me I need to teach people how to sigh because I'm so good at it myself. I do it all the time. And then step the right foot back. And when you're ready, left foot goes behind you. Keep the right knee soft and start to circle over that foot, the left foot this time. Again, you're probably, don't hold your body stiff. So let your body move. And throughout this practice, let your body move. Reverse the circles. Get yourself moving. Get your mind moving, your body moving. And step the left foot back, and then step the feet close together, press the inner knees against each other. So really press the knees in, don't let there be any space between the knees. Bring the hands to the fronts of the thighs, bend your knees, and start to circle the knees, but keep the knees supporting each other and keep the circles small. So no pain in your knees. If there's any pain in your knees, don't do this one. Reverse the circles. And then coming back up, stepping the feet wider, moving up to the hips. Maybe find those pointy bones at the front of your hips. Soften the knees. So there's a good bend in my knees. And then start to circle the pelvis, the hips. And maybe notice maybe your hips aren't ready to move today. Can you just encourage them to move? You're still staying with the breath. You're still allowing the body to follow. And reverse the circles. How does it feel to move this morning? Can you be with the sensation of the movement? And come back to standing. Step the feet closer. And then moving up to the shoulders, bring the shoulders forward and up, back and down. And just circle the shoulders. If it's better for your body, you can bring the fingertips to the shoulders and then circle your elbows. As you can see, I'm adding a little bounce in my knees as well. If you're doing that, make sure your knees are going straight forward and straight back so they're not turning in. And if you're circling the shoulders, reverse the circles. Again, don't hold your head stiff. Let your head follow as well. So you're not guarding the neck against movement. And come back to standing. Anytime you need bigger movements, shake it out again or do empty coat sleeves, whatever you want to do, just do it. And then we're just gonna soften up the neck a little bit. I'll turn sideways so you can see. So I'm pretending there's a chalkboard in front of my nose, and I'm just gonna make circles leading with my nose. And I'm still following the breath. And reverse the circles. Keep the circles quite small so you're not hearing any cracks or anything like that in your neck. And come back to center, shake it out again. Let's add more movement. So beginning in mountain pose. Mountain pose, the feet are about 4 to 6 inches apart and parallel to each other, so not turned out or turned in. Ground down through the feet, soften the knees, lining up the hips over the ankles, arms by the sides. Add some, come back to your breath. Deep full inhales, deep full exhales. If you like, add the arms to the breath. Inhale, arms out to the sides and overhead. Exhale, arms can come down. Inhale, press into the ground to get taller. You might even be looking up. Exhale, down. Your arms are moving at the pace of your breath. And the next time the arms are overhead, turn the palms in so they're parallel to each other. Hug the tops of the arms into the shoulder sockets. And then bend your knees towards your center toes. Come into a baby chair pose. So just the first part of a squat. If it's too hard for your arms to be alongside the ears, bring the arms in front of you. Again, hug the arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Hug the navel in towards the spine, but let your tailbone come back a little bit, and you're breathing. On the next exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper. Not all the way yet, just a little bit deeper. Keep hugging your navel and keep pressing down into the feet. Keep hugging the tops of the arms into the shoulder sockets, and then come into whatever version of chair that you want to be in today. Again, you can keep the arms in front of you. You can bring the arms alongside the ears if that's better for you. Breathe. Stay with your breath. Notice some trembling, some resistance. Just allow whatever's happening. There's a quote, yoga is the act of being with the consequences of who you are. I really muddled that one up, but I'll try to remember it later on. So basically, yoga is just being with whatever is arising. Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper. Notice what's pushing back. If you've had enough, feel free to come up anytime. When you're complete, come up. Maybe wrap the arms around the rib cage and just feel your breath. Feel everything that's been stirred up inside you, allow it. You might be allowing a huge muddle of thoughts, emotions, sensations, and that's okay. Can you be with it? And if the answer is no, feel free to, again, shake it out. Don't stay in stillness, add movement. We're going to add movement again. Inhale, arms out to the side. This time, dive down into a forward fold and just hang for a moment again. Maybe hold opposite elbows, maybe sway side to side. And then release the arms. Bend the knees deeply. Make sure your knees go towards your center toes. Swing the arms behind you into skier's pose. Look forward. Keeping navel hugged in. And then inhale, arms forward. Exhale, arms behind you. Inhale, forward. Exhale, behind you. Again, staying low, staying with your breath, noticing everything that's arising. And the next time the arms come down, take a big step back with the right foot. Maybe just sway side forward and back with your hips, bending the left knee, lowering the right knee any amount. And when you're ready, take your time. When you're ready, then sink your right knee down, coming into low lunge. So option here is to keep the right foot tucked and press out through the sole of the foot, or untuck the toes and press down into the top of the foot. Option here is to keep the hands, the fingertips down, but you're not hanging out on the fingers. You're just letting the fingers touch down, or bring your hands to your left thigh and breathe. If you want to add more, or you feel like you can add more, bring the arms up and maybe even make pitchfork arms. Bring the elbows behind you a little bit. Frame the face. It's like you're holding your head with your hands. And you're breathing. Keep pressing down into that right foot so you're not leaning forward. And you're breathing. You can stay here or exhale, bring the forearms and elbows together, and then inhale, open them wide. Like you're closing the shutters to your heart, and then you're inhale, opening them as wide as they'll go, letting in the light, the love, the peace that's all around you. When you've had enough of that, bring the hands back down. Lean into the left foot, tuck the right toes, and then step your right foot forward, coming into forward fold. And just hang for a moment, soften your knees. And then bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms behind you. Again, skier's pose, look forward. And then sweep arms forward, exhale, arms behind you, and forward, and behind you, and forward, behind you, and forward. Next time arms come down, step the left foot far back. You can again keep the left knee lifted a little bit and just bring the right knee forward and back. Straighten the right leg any amount. When you've had enough of that, sink the left knee down, coming into the lunge. Again, you can keep the left toes tucked, press out through the sole of the foot, or untuck the toes and press the top of the foot into the mat. Stay here. If you have blocks, you can have hands under to the blocks, or bring the hands to the right thigh. Feel your breath. And stay here or bring the arms up, and if you like, even make a pitchfork so your upper arms are parallel to the ground. You're welcoming the breath. If you like, as you exhale, bring the forearms and elbows and hands together. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, fold closed. Keep weight on that left foot so you're not leaning forward. And you're also not hanging out on the left knee. You're pressing down into the foot to avoid weight on that left knee. You can always put a blanket under your left knee if you have tender knees. When you've had enough, bring the hands down, lean into the right foot, left foot comes forward into forward fold. Just hang for a moment, soften the knees. And then bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms out to the sides and come all the way up. If you like, add a little back bend, exhale, hands to the chest. Do some sun breaths, inhale up, exhale down. And the next time the arms come down, wrap the hands around the rib cage and feel your breath. And while you're feeling your breath, soften the knees. Imagine the pelvis is dropping between your feet. Inhale, arms out to the side. Exhale, dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, hands to shins or thighs. Lengthen from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Get longer still. If you want to add more, bring the arms out to the side so that your whole upper body is floating parallel to the ground. And then exhale down, bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms behind you. You're supposed to look forward. Inhale forward, exhale back. Back and forth at your own pace. And the next time the arms come down, step your right foot far back. Sink your right knee down, coming into low lunge. Again, your option is to stay low, to bring the hands to the left thigh. Or this time, bring the arms up into a wide V, like you're saying victory. Maybe even turn the pinky fingers in toward each other so you're internally rotating the arms. And breathe. Let the shoulders sink into the shoulder sockets. Shoulder blades roll down the back towards the tailbone. Pelvis low. Full deep breaths. Bring the hands back down, and now step the left foot back into table position. Bring the hands wider, bring the knees wider, and start to make circles leading with the pelvis. And you can stay just with the small circles. If you want to do more, start to make your circles bigger. So listen to your body. Keep the circles quite small, or as you exhale, bring the hips back towards the tops of the feet. And then over to the other side and all the way forward, your hip belly and your pelvis hammock down. And the next time you're forward, if you like, reverse the circles. Keep pressing into all 10 fingers so you're not hanging out on the wrist. And you're breathing. Come back into table position when you're ready. We're going to do a version of pigeon. So bring your right knee forward, but this time keep your right foot tucked under, and maybe your left foot goes further back. You can stay here. If this causes any discomfort in your lower back, then come down onto elbows to release it. Or, so that's one option, is to just stay low, keep the hips low, or come up on fingertips. You can walk the hands back a little bit. Try to keep the hips square to the front so your left hip is yearning to be even with the right hip. If you want to add more, and you can, maybe I can today, maybe I can't, you can bring the arms up into that pitchfork shape, that goalpost shape again, and breathe. So my left hip and my left shoulder are yearning to be even with the right hip and the right shoulder. And breathe. Stay here as long as you like. Whenever you've had enough, bring the hands back down. And then slide your left knee forward. Pause here for a moment. Maybe wiggle your hips side to side. And then your right leg goes far back. Wiggle your hips side to side again. Option to come forward onto the forearms and elbows and just stay there. Or come up on fingertips. Or walk the hands back a little bit and stay here. And breathe. Again, I'm trying to keep my shoulders and my hips as even as possible. Excuse me. And if you want to do more, or you can do more today, you can again bring your arms up into that goalpost shape. Open your heart. Again, keep pressing into the right foot. And keep breathing. Stay here as long as you like. And then bring the hands down and tuck the right toe step back into downward facing dog. Walk it out. Yay. Breathe. And walk the feet towards the hands, or step or jump, or the hands towards the feet. Hang for a moment. Bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms out to the sides. You can keep the arms out to the sides or keep the fingertips going so the fingertips touch overhead. And then exhale into forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sides. They can stay here or come all the way up. Your torso rises. Exhale all the way back down. So listen to your body. Do what your body can do today. Add that smile, stay with your breath. Always feel free to do a little less than I'm guiding, or a little more than I'm guiding. The next time the fingertips come overhead, come all the way up. Maybe at that back bend. Exhale, hands to the chest. Bring the right hand to the left side of the rib cage, left hand to the right side of the rib cage. Feel your breath. Feel your feet settling on the ground. Feel the earth supporting you. Release the hands. Shake it out if you like. And then with the hands to the hips, take a big step back with the right foot. Angle the right heel towards the back. Left heel is intersecting the right instep. And this is like you're coming into warrior two, but you're actually going to come into warrior 1.5. So I'm putting my index finger into my navel and then turning the navel towards the right front corner of the mat. So my hips are neither squared to the side or squared in front of me. They're kind of angled out to the side a little bit more to allow a little more ease in the hips. And breathe. You can stay here or bring the arms out to the sides or all the way overhead again. I'm going to keep orienting my navel towards the right front corner so my body is a little bit turned to the side instead of forcing my hips to come this way. But if that feels really good for your body, feel free to do that. I'm going to stay with this slight rotation. Breathe. And then as you inhale, straighten the left knee, fingertips touch overhead, really get tall, press into both feet equally, and then exhale, sink back into that version of warrior one, that warrior 1.5. Inhale, straighten the left knee, any amount, fingertips touch, get long, smile, exhale, sink back down. And maybe one more time, press into that right foot, especially the outside corners of the right foot, and then sink back down. And then bring the left arm alongside the left ear, the right arm towards the right thigh. Again, my navel is still turned towards that catty corner, so I'm not completely squared to the front. Keep pressing the left arm against the left ear, and then maybe walk your right fingers down that right thigh. Again, I'm trying not to rotate my navel. It's still facing that right front corner of the mat, and I'm still breathing. And inhale, back up. Right arm can come back alongside the right ear. Cartwheel the hands down and step back into downward facing dog, walk it out. And then from here, bring the right leg behind you into three-legged dog. Look between your hands. Bend the right knee and step the right foot forward between the hands. We're going to come back up into that warrior 1.5. So inch your left foot to angle to the left. Your right heel is intersecting the left instep. Stay here or come up. Again, I'm going to turn my navel towards the left front corner of the mat. So I'm not trying to square my hips to the front or to the side. And I'm also making sure that my right knee stays over the ankle. Can stay here or bring the arms up, but I'm keeping my navel square to the side. I'm going to turn around, so I'm not turning my back to you. But you stay where you are. Press into that left foot so you're not leaning towards the right. And then if you like, as you inhale, straighten the right knee, fingertips touch, get really long, press the ground away, get taller. Exhale, sink back into the bend in the right knee, keeping my navel turned towards the left front corner. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, sink back down. Inhale, lengthen, press into the left foot, and sink back down. Pause. One more. Lift, and then sink back down. Now let your left arm come down towards the left thigh, right arm alongside the right ear. I'm still turning my navel towards that left front corner of the mat. You can stay here or walk the left fingers down the left thigh. Breathe. Make sure your right knee stays over the ankle and doesn't come in. You're pressing into the outside edge of the right foot as well as the inside edge. Soften shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, back up, maybe left arm comes up. Pause, breathe, shoulders roll away from the ears. And then cartwheeling the arms down, step back, downward facing dog. Walk it out. And then sink the knees down. Make your way into child's pose. So you might like to bring the knees wider. I like to make a pillow with my hands for the head and then rest the forehead on the hands. Sometimes it can be really soothing for the brain to have something to rest on. If your head isn't coming quite down, you can make fists, stack fists under your forehead. And even if your forehead can come all the way down onto the ground, I recommend maybe giving it that support, giving your brain that soft place to land on your head, on your hands. Walk the hands back, come up onto the knees, bring the knees closer to each other. I'm going to turn around again because I'm so used to being this way. And then sit back on your heels for a moment and breathe. Get taller as you inhale. Maybe inhale, arms out to the sides and overhead. Exhale, then back down. Inhale, arms out to the sides. And exhale, back down. Inhale, up. And exhale down. Bring the hands down. Lean forward. Tuck all 10 toes. You can even use your hands to help the toes tuck. And then press back. You can lift up and really feel the soles of the feet opening. And it probably doesn't feel wonderful. Just do what you can. Feel free to make adjustments so that your body is comfortable. If you want to do a little bit more, bring the hands in front of you and then come up into a toe balance and breathe and smile. You can stay here or bring the palms together in front of the chest. And stay with the wobbles, the shakes, whatever's happening. Stay here as long as you like. If you want to add some movement, as you exhale, fold down into forward fold. Inhale back into that frog pose. Bend the knees, come up high on the toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, frog, back and forth. Whenever you've had enough of that, then make your way all the way down onto the belly and arrive on your belly. You can make a pillow with the hands for the head. Again, let your forehead rest on your hands, or you can turn the cheek to one side. Let yourself completely land on the ground. If your lower back is talking to you, bend the knees, windshield wiper feet side to side. If your cheek is turned to one side, gently turn the opposite cheek to the mat to get that nice neck stretch on the other side. Bring the head back to center. Forehead, mouth, or the chin is on the ground, depending on the orientation of your neck. In order for me to lengthen, my forehead is on the ground. And from here, press into the thigh, into the pelvis, press into the pelvis, and then let the feet float up. Just an inch or two. Head and chest might float up as well, but you're not lifting up high. You're just kind of floating just off the mat, like you're like gravity isn't working for you anymore, and you're just floating off the ground. Maybe the arms are lifted as well, but just floating very slightly off the ground. Resist the urge to come up higher. You can if you really need to right now, but just stay getting longer. Stay here as long as you like. When you've had enough, release and turn the cheek to one side, or make a pillow with the hands for the head. And we're going to do that again. If you need to rest longer, feel free to. So again, feet float up, chest and head floats up, arms float up. You can stay here or bend the knees, bring the heels towards the buttocks. Notice how that makes your chest rise. You can keep just your hands reaching back, or if it's available to you, reach for the hold onto the ankles. Don't let the knees splay out. Bring the knees closer together. And then coming into basket, you're just floating forward and back on the breath. Again, if this is too much for you, just bring the hands back instead of trying to force them to hold the shins. When you've had enough, sink down onto the belly and turn your cheek to one side. Rest again. If you haven't yet turned your cheek to the other side, feel free to. Inhale back up into table position and downward facing dog. Walk it out. And then either walk the feet towards the hands, or if you like, bend the knees, look between the hands and take a little hop. So really listen to your body. Do what feels best for your body. From forward fold, bend the knees, sweep the arms out to the sides, come all the way up. Add a back bend, exhale, hands to the chest. Pause for a moment to re-arrive. Shake it out if you like. And let's do a little balance play. This is something we do a lot in our in-person yoga classes, and I miss you all. I miss the camaraderie. I miss seeing your smiling faces, but we'll see each other again soon. So begin in mountain pose. Bring the hands to the hips, soften the knees, and then bring the right knee forward, coming into crane. The right thigh is parallel to the ground. Crane is like the Karate Kid pose, so you can add your arms, let the elbows and fingertips drop. Soften the left knee, soften the shoulders. Stay with the wobbles and the shakes. You can stay in crane and just fly your crane if you like. Your crane might be much more wobbly. It's different every day and it's different for everyone. You can stay here or transition into King Dancer. Bring the right leg behind you, reach for the right ankle with the right hand. You can always come next to the wall as well. If you want to come further, bring the left arm forward and the right leg behind you so you're floating over the mat. The right hip is yearning to be even with the left hip. The shoulders are yearning to be even. You can stay here, or maybe you can play and come back into crane. So you're just playing. You're just breathing and playing. Maybe bring the right knee out to the side. So just play with any shape that you like. The object is to keep the left foot grounded and balanced. When you've had enough, release the hands. Hold your belly in your hands and be with everything that's been stirred up, awakened. Swirling thoughts, swirling emotions, swirling body sensations. Just gonna wipe my nose. I get a runny nose. And then let's do the other side. Shake it out, maybe first. Begin again in mountain pose, hands to the hips. Shift the weight to the right foot. Left knee comes forward, soften the right knee so you're not hyperextending the knees. Stay with your breath. Perhaps notice this side is different. Add your crane wings if you like. Again, maybe you're more wobbly or less wobbly on this side. Maybe fly your crane. You're just playing. It's all exploration. Be with everything that's happening. Be compassionate and gentle with yourself. See, I'm losing it too. And then if you want to transition, bring the left leg behind you. Hold on to the left ankle. Left hip is squared with the right hip. You can bring the right arm forward if you like. And breathe. Again, it's great to do this against the wall so that you feel safe. Be with everything that's arising. If you want to come back into crane, maybe you can. Maybe you're really wobbly like me. If you like, bring the left knee out to the sides. Try not to be stiff. So let be wobbly. And bring the left leg down. Hold your belly in your hands. Pause. And shake it out. Bring the hands behind you. If you can, interlace the fingers behind the back. Pull the knuckles away. If that's not possible, just keep the palms of the hands turned in toward each other, yearning toward each other. And breathe. So you can stay here. This might be perfect for you. If you want to add more, bend the knees. Bend the knees really deeply. The knees are going straight towards the center toes, so not out to the side or in. And then if it works for you, bend the knees even more and lie your belly down on your thighs. Let your head drop. Your hands can stay behind you, fingers clasped or unclasped. Or bring the arms up a little bit more. Don't force your shoulders. So my arms come just behind me. Some people's arms can come up higher. You can always unclasp the hands. Again, you're not forcing your shoulders. Maybe it's better for your shoulders to keep the hands on the back of the hips. And breathe. Release the arms and come into forward fold. Maybe sway side to side. Maybe sway side to side so much that when you're swaying to the left, the right knee bends and the left arm comes up, and then come to the other side. And whenever you've had enough, then make your way into table. Step the right leg back, left leg back, and make your way all the way down onto the back, just like we did at the beginning of the practice. So come all the way down onto your back. And take a moment to arrive. Breathe. Just like we did at the beginning of the practice, bring your arms wider, your feet wider, and let your knees drift side to side. You can again stay here or bring your knees into the chest. And then let your legs sway side to side, keeping the opposite shoulder grounded. Listen to your body. And you're still with your breath. And whenever you've had enough, and you feel even on both sides, bring the feet back down. Maybe take constructive rest pose again, hands on the belly, knees resting against each other. Let yourself arrive on your mat. We're just going to do a couple more before final relaxation. So we're almost done. If your body says, you know what, I'm done, then feel free to come into final relaxation now. If you want to do a couple more with me, bring the heels about hip distance apart from each other. Don't force them, so don't force your your heels to be right next to your buttocks. Just bring them a comfortable distance away from the buttocks. Arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Shoulders and hips squared, press into the feet. Lift the hips up as high as they want to come without letting the knees splay out. And then slowly bring the hips back down. Inhale, lift. Again, don't let the knees splay out. Bring the hips up as high as they want to come, and then slowly back down. Coming into bridge wave. If you feel like you want to challenge yourself and stay in bridge, feel free to do that. So you're just listening to your body. And when you've had enough, then bring the hips back down. And then pause for a moment to re-arrive. I want to bring my knees into the chest and make circles with the knees to massage the lower back. Sometimes I like to cross the ankles and hold onto the big toes and then make circles. Maybe let the head go side to side as well, so you're softening the neck as well. And then you can come back to center, maybe hug the knees in. And so I'm going to guide dead bug, which is a very simple inversion. Dead bug is just letting limbs float up off the ground, keeping the backs of the shoulders and the backs of the hips grounded. You can soften the limbs so you're not like a stick figure. You can make movements if you like, or keep the limbs just floating. So Usually when we're teaching, when we're here all in a class, I give you the last 5 minutes to do anything else that your body wants to do. So you can either stay with me in dead bug, if that's what your body wants to do, or if there's something else your body really wants to do, please take the next 5 minutes to do whatever that is before final relaxation. Maybe your body says it's time for a bathroom break, or maybe you need a drink of water. Maybe there's something you want to repeat that we did earlier, or maybe we didn't do your favorite pose. So remember, we can't see you, so just play or do anything you want to do. What else does your body want to do right now? So I'm going to go ahead and layer some clothes back on, put on some socks and a shirt so that I'm a little more comfortable for final relaxation. You can be with whatever you're doing. I'm going to gather everything that I need so that I can be ready to guide you into final relaxation. You may still be in your finishing shape or shapes, or you may be making your way into final relaxation as well. I'm going to run into the other room and get a book I wanted. And I'll show you the book. It's Deep Listening by Jillian Pransky. This is one of my favorite books, and I read from it a lot. I also read poetry a lot in final relaxation of my classes. So whenever you're ready, make your way towards your most comfortable shape, maybe on your back. If you're more comfortable on your belly, feel free to come into that shape as well. You might cover up with a blanket. I'm sure you've done Shavasana before, so just make yourself comfortable in any way that feels wonderful to you. And once you're in your most comfortable shape, let yourself land. Let yourself land on the ground. Take a moment to scan through your body to see what can release a little bit more. Scan your body with compassion, with kindness, with love. Imagine allowing the earth to support you completely. Now I'm going to read you from Deep Listening by my teacher, Jillian Pransky. And this is called Relax More. Show up and relax more. Let your feet land heavily on the ground. Feel your footprints dropping deeper and deeper into the earth. Release your legs, effortless legs. Effortless legs. Your pelvis cradled by the earth. Your pelvis cradled by the earth. Your whole back melts into the ground. Your whole back melts into the ground. Feel the ground welcoming your shoulders and your upper back. Allow the earth to receive your head completely. Allow the earth to receive your head completely. Let the weight of all of your head drop onto the ground. Welcome your breath into your body. Welcome your breath with a softening belly. Welcome your breath with a softening belly. Your breath caring for you as it flows in and out on its own. Let your belly soften more and drain down into your back. Let your belly soften more and drain down into your back. Let your breath, let your body rest on the ground. The earth will hold you. The earth will hold you. Let your breath into your body. The ground longs to carry you, so your breath can fill you. The earth longs to carry you, so your breath can fill you. The earth longs to carry you, so your breath can fill you. Pema Chodron said, right now, can you make an unconditional relationship with yourself? An unconditional relationship with yourself. Just as at the height that you are. Just at the weight you are. With the current intelligence level you have. With your current burden of pain. Can you enter into an unconditional relationship with that? Can you be with everything that's presenting? Not dwelling in or magnifying, just Resolve to have an unconditional relationship with yourself. Be as gentle with yourself as you wish the earth would be to you. Be as gentle with yourself as you wish the world would be to you. Be as gentle with yourself as you would be with someone you love. Extend that unconditional love to yourself. Is it possible to relax your belly, soften your belly, an unguarded belly, open, trusting. Imagine a sleeping baby's belly. The baby is not holding its belly. There's never a time when you can't relax more. So I'm going to leave you. I hope you'll stay in your Shavasana a little bit longer. And I hope to see you again soon. I hope to practice with you again soon. So if you're still lying down, you might just silently join me in saying Namaste. You might just silently resolve to remember to come into that unconditional relationship with yourself. Honor you. Honor everything you're going through. We're all in it together. Namaste. Be well. Take care. I love you.